Right, so we track our calories, okay, and we use MyFitnessPal. I use MyFitnessPal, you use
MFP.
MyFitnessPal. So one of the things I've noticed, and one of the things my clients have asked a lot of questions about, is the difference between like the calorie number they're getting and the calorie number I've given them, and then the macronutrient breakdown that they're being given by MyFitnessPal versus what I've given them to equate to those calories. So there'll often be this difference. Like if I look at my MyFitnessPal today, I'll have hit my calories, but my macronutrients are a bit below. Like each one of them's a little bit below. So I'm of the opinion that we should go with the calorie value, because there are some foods, if you look at your entries, go through all of your entries, you'll have a dash next to one of the macronutrients. So that input was obviously put in by someone who hadn't been accounting for crossover calories. So if let's say if it was whey protein and there was like 3 grams of carbs and 2 grams of fat, because that person just wanted to count the protein when they were creating that entry, they then didn't put in the carbs or fats. So I think you should always go with the overall calorie value. I think it's the most consistent, but I'm interested in your thoughts.
I would be in complete agreement as well. Now, like MyFitnessPal, any tracking method, like there is some inherent inaccuracies.
Yes.
Not even just in the actual app or whatever itself, but the fact that a certain 100 grams or a kilo of one food, say you get a kilo of broccoli from this field versus a kilo of broccoli from this field, like they may have different calorie amounts in it. So inherent in the actual calorimetry of it, there is some inaccuracies. So you can't get over that. Then, like as you said, like in the app, like someone going in on, I'm going to create this food because it's not been created before, so they pop it in, they're like, actually I don't really care about the fats or the carbs in this, I'm going to do this. Like they take it down off the packet and it says calories this and it says protein this, and they don't put in anything else, you know. So that's a huge thing as well. But I would be of the opinion that go by the calories, but I would also, like generally what I do is try to find the food that,
find the best entry.
Not even find the best entry, like I'll try to find the food that has caused the issue and then create a new one myself and then use that. You know, so I'm like, okay, at least I'm consistent. Like sometimes as well, you'll find a food that doesn't account for the calories in fiber.
I was gonna say,
you know, like this is one where it's like they've put the fiber in and then subtracted the calories from that, and you're like, okay, like, because they're going, okay, fiber, you don't digest it, so you know it's this many calories, and that's what it's sold as. So they're thinking, no, that's correct. But then you're like, no, this actually doesn't add up. This has more carbs than my calories are saying. Like the kind of reverse of what we're saying is happening. So
I think a lot of people do that as well with protein bars. Like if you go to like, let's say a Quest bar or something, it'll say something like 3 grams net or impact carbs, whereas in fact there's actually 20 grams of carbs in there. It's just that some of them are polyols, and as far as I know, I think they digest at like 2.5 calories instead of the 4 that normal carbs are. But to be honest,
like sugar alcohols are one of those ones that's like, it depends on the exact sugar alcohol itself, and then it depends on you as an individual.
And I think it's really not worth getting into those things, because like what you have to remember is that when something says fiber as well, there are lots of different types of fiber. It's not just the same across the board. So I would be saying that, you know, just go with the calories and always track the full carbohydrate value as opposed to a net carbohydrate value on things like protein bars, and those sugar alcohols and things, I would be looking to count them as well.
Like I would count everything that
count
you
as many things as you can, because as Paddy pointed out, there are a lot of kind of variables and inconsistencies in things already, and I know some people put forth the argument that, oh, it's inconsistent, so it's almost like the one tire slash, so slash the rest. You know, you're essentially just like clicking the fuck it button then by saying, oh, I'm going to be completely inconsistent because everything else is inconsistent. But really you should be looking to at least standardize what you can, even if they're a little bit off, because it's far better to be consistently slightly inconsistent as opposed to inconsistently consistent, and then you're just starting to throw far too many variables.
Like the way I look at it is like nothing in life at all is actually consistent. Like you stand still, like you're not actually standing still
moving. The
earth is spinning, and it's also spinning around the sun. So even though you think you have it all locked in, you stand completely still, like everything is still going, hurtling around the sun, spinning 24 hours, you
Yeah,
know.
and even as you stand there, you're not standing in one spot at all. Your body's tilting slightly forward, slightly back,
so it's like
rotating.
you can't exactly be specific with anything, so don't get hung up on that all or nothing kind of mentality, like, oh, I can't, it's inconsistent, so I might as well not be at all consistent. But yeah, I think we're in agreement that, you know, go by the calories that MyFitnessPal tells you, but do try to find the entry or whatever that is causing the issue, and then either find a better entry or create a new one yourself. Like you can it's pretty easy to do, and you can look at the packet of whatever it is. Like if you scan the barcode and you notice, okay, the calories are right, or maybe the calories are wrong, and the macronutrients are right, or whatever it is, and then you can just take them down and adjust accordingly. So yeah, I would go by the calories, especially if it's something like 50, like realistically,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, you know. But if it's consistently, you're like, okay, well, my calories are over by 300 if I try to hit my macronutrients, I'd be like, okay, you need to kind of fix that issue.
I agree.